All right, guys, so it's GT time, grand tournament. I've got the Blood Angels, and they are going to rock this weekend. So it's 5-round GT. We've got a lot of top players here in Norway. I'm pretty intimidated by some of the competition there, but you know what? I love playing the top dogs. So here we go. Let me break down the list for you, and then I've got a whole tournament in review for you guys as well. That's going to be included in this video. So I'm going to talk to you about the list that I'm about to take, and then afterwards I'll do kind of a quick review of things that I might change in the list. So that you guys can do the best that you can in competition so that we can start crushing the top dogs as well. Okay, so this is the 2,000 points of Blood Angels. I think it's actually 1995. Forgive the baby stuff in the background. So basically what we're going to do is we're running a couple characters here. We have Monsieur Dante, and he's leading 6 Sanguinary Guard. We've got a Rage-Fueled Captain with Jump Pack, and he's going to be leading 3 Sanguinary Guard. We've got, and if you guys don't know the Rage-Fueled Captain, that's the once per game where you get triple exploding 6s, which is it's a lot. We've got Mr. Mephiston himself, Lone Up Fight First, just a brutal, badass character. We've got the Sanguinar, who, gets to heroic intervene from reserves once per game, and he is also, fights first, Lone Up, brutal. Then we have the Chaplain with the Fights First enhancement, and he is going to be leading 6 Blade Guard veterans who will be riding inside their beautiful Impulsor back here. Beyond that, I have a 5-man unit of JPI, which are just a great skirmishing unit. They're amazing for punching up with their mortals, and they actually shred infantry significantly better than Sanguinary Guard do, which is hilarious. Then we've got 1 5-man of Infiltrators. I hate having to take Infiltrators, but the reality is, at this point in time in the meta, if you're not taking Infiltrators, I think you're just greedy. I believe it was Ennis Wilson from StatCheck who said that first, and I don't agree with him on many things, but on this one, man, he was so spot on. And Ennis, shout out to you because you are so right with that statement. If you're not taking Infiltrators and you're a Marine player, you are just getting greedy, especially at this point in the meta where so much uppy downy, so much 6-inch deep strikes. You just need them, in my opinion, now. And then I'm going to round the list out with 5 scouts, and then we'll get into the vehicles. So I obviously have the Impulsors, which the Fight First Blade Guard veterans are going to be running into. And then I've got 2 Ball Predators. Ball Predators are absolutely brutal in the game right now. They're so good at 125. These bad boys just cause so many freaking problems for your opponent. It is just silly what they can do. And then I have 2 Lancers. So I love the Lancers. I take Lancers over Vindicators because I'd much rather have the longer range, and I don't like ever having to rely on the Oath moment. So we got 5 rounds coming up in this GT, and we are going to see how it does. I'm going to go through all the videos now, and then I'll be right back, and we'll maybe do a little bit of a review of things that I may change, or I might keep it the same. Okay, we are at round 1. I got Benny in the house. Benny is rocking the 1,000 Suns. He's got the Big Bird. He's got double Mutalisk. He actually took the Arcane Vortex, or I guess the new whatever of Epitha on the Demon Prince, which I actually think is really cool. So right now he's just doing some of his redeploys. We are playing in round 1, which is Scorched Earth, and it is a Search and Destroy. So with that, guys, we're about to roll off to see who goes first, but he's just going to go ahead and finish his redeployments now. I've got my Blood Angels all arrayed everywhere, ready to rock and roll. I did kind of screw him by putting my Ball Predator here, because if I go first, I could have just like yeeted it into his entire deployment zone and just murdered everything. So now he's having to use his redeploys in a way that I think annoys him, but that's fair. So he gets this done, we'll roll it, and then we'll be back at the end of the game to see how this went. Good luck, Benny.
Good luck.
Okay, and with the aftermath, Mr. Benny, appreciate your game. Love you, man. So it was a pretty big win, 93 to the Blood Angels to 45 to the T-Suns. In this matchup with the Grand Coven, I think the problem is the Grand Coven doesn't really have any great way to initiate. So if I just stand behind a wall, I can basically just stand behind a wall and force him to pray that he draws better secondaries than me, which means the onus is on him to actually make something happen, which you never want the onus to be on you when you're placing Blood Angels. So, I mean, I had the turn where I just got to pick up everything, and it was a good game, though. There were a few movement errors which we talked about a little bit. So I enjoyed playing you. First time I get to play you. Appreciate you. And hopefully you have a great luck for the rest of the tournament.
You too, man.
All right, bud. Okay, round 2. I'm playing against the Crusher Stampede against the always terrifying Mr. Thomas Huckshot. Thomas is another member of our team, Norway. He's a great player. I'm always scared to play him. He has the Crusher Stampede. As you can see, it's just crazy monster mash. He is going first on Persian Foe. I hate the fact that I'm playing him on Persian Foe, but I'm much happier that he went first. So that is a small blessing for me. So we are going to see what he's going to do. Is he going to rush me with his lictors? Is he going to grab the entire board? I don't know. It's very, very interesting. Anyway, we'll be back at the end of the game to catch you up on this one. All right, and the winner is Mr. Thomas. congratulations. We played a bunch. This is the first time you got me. It goes to you, dear sir. So the final score is going to be 97 to 56. So it was actually a really big win for him. So basically what happened is turn 1, I just really messed up. And I gave him an angle that I wasn't paying attention to on one of my Lancers, so he was able to pop it really early, and he took full advantage. Great move. And then he also went full send, which I wasn't expecting him to do. And I was not really positioned to take advantage of it, and it really worked out for him. I did have a moment where I had the opportunity to come back into the game, but it required me to get really lucky on some stuff, which I did, but then it required me to get really lucky again, which I didn't. So the last 2 rounds, he basically really cleaned up. Great game, Crusher Stampede. Played this really well. I'm super happy to see that you got successful. I'm super sad that I lost. But with that, congratulations. Best of luck for the rest of the tournament. Cheers. Okay, so it's round 3, and it's Linchpin, Search and Destroy, Blood Angels to light up, and we're all against the Crew Hunting Pack from Mr. Daniel again. Mr. Daniel is awesome, and he's still deploying somehow. I'm done. Did you just finish? Seriously? That was the long. There are 158 models in this army, and we're about to see who goes first. So let's do it, baby.
All right.
I rolled a 1, so it's probably you. Okay, let's redo it. Hey, spicy. Okay.
No, for fuck's sake.
Okay. I rolled a 6. Did you roll 3 1s? All right, bro. That was 5 1s on the first 6 dice that we rolled. So I'm gonna go first. I'm just gonna scout these dudes. Then Daniel's gonna do his thing, and we're gonna have a good game. All right. Also, we're drinking beer now because we both lost. Cheers. So the end of top of turn 2, we just went ahead and called it. I think I've already killed 1,000 plus points of your army. This is probably the worst possible matchup for Fruit. I'm just gonna take 100. He's gonna take 30 because that's just the easiest way to do this. It's the most brutal possible matchup. Daniel, I love you.
Likewise.
Okay, so round 4. I'm playing with my eternal nemesis, Sveinung. You guys might know him as Ponder, the Tyranid boy. He's a glorious man. And right now we got the Blood Angels versus the new Subterranean Dwellers. Now, he is educating me about the Subterranean Dwellers because I haven't gotten to play them. It's, one of those times when you like read rules and you're like, oh, that's not that great. And then you get it explained to you and you're like, oh, that's pretty bad. That's pretty good. So now I am terrified, but I think we're going to have a good match. We're going to see what happens. He's very focused. He is just getting his positioning run. I did go first. I scored basically nothing and did some cards. So we are going to see how this game turns out. We'll be back at the end of the match with an update for you. Best of luck, Simon.
Best of luck.
Yay! Okay, so in the aftermath, basically the tale of the tape is... I got a lot of pressure with the Blood Angels. The Zoanthropes are amazing in this detachment. I love it. How did you feel about them?
Yeah, they're great. They can shoot whatever I want, mostly.
And the native reroll hit rolls of 1, on top of like sustained, ignore cover, and their lethals that you can give them. I think they're brutal with the teleporting shenanigans they have. We went over a few things. I think it's definitely Blood Angels' favorite though still.
Yeah, certainly.
But yeah, I mean, it's a really crazy detachment. It has a lot of movement shenanigans, like an insane amount of movement shenanigans. So I'd be really interested to see how it runs with perhaps a couple other builds. I like this build, but like, how do you feel about maybe like 2 X-Trins in there to handle like all the elite infantry stuff?
They're interesting. Maybe it could be.
Yeah.
But they'll be slow because I'm not playing the Walk Hive Tyrant.
Sure.
But they would help against elite infantry. But mostly the Reveners are really good at elite infantry. So often
are they?
yeah, they
Oh,
kill
it's
elite
twin
infantry.
links. The twin link is
So
yeah, okay.
my normal answer to elite infantry is to charge them Reveners.
Sure,
But
that makes sense. That makes sense.
The Ball Predators and the Sanguinor delay a lot when I can do that. So my answer doesn't work in this matchup.
That makes sense. Yeah, so it's tough. I think the Subterranean Assault is an awesome detachment, and I mean, dude, there's so much practice that needs to be done with it. We have not figured this thing out yet, right? But Sveinung is getting to work on that, and we will see how it goes. Thanks for the game, buddy. Appreciate you.
Game.
All right, so round 5, we have Terraform. The Blood Angels are arrayed on the Crucible Battle, and we are playing against Mr. Haas. Say hello, Mr. Haas.
Hey.
So he is running the Reaper's Wager, which is cool because I actually don't have really much experience into it. It sounds pretty scary to me, but I'm still excited for the game. So this is fun. Not really much to say. He's just finishing up his deployment, and then we're gonna freaking rock and roll. We're gonna see how we close off the tournament. Do we go 4-1 or do we go 3-2? Mr. Haas will tell. Best of luck, buddy.
Good luck, man.
Cheers. Okay, and end of the last round of the tournament. So the Blood Angels did prevail. We ended up tabling the Drukhari in turn 4. That's a tough matchup. Haas was a freaking trooper. We love playing against him. A lot of fun. He's only been back to the hobby for about a year, right?
Yeah.
And you took down some serious players this weekend, actually.
Did I?
Bro, you took down a WTC player. You took down some people. So well done, my guy. Yeah, Reaper's Wager was pretty cool. I'd be interested in seeing some other builds. This build seems totally fine to me. He had the Scourge. He had plenty of hitting power. He actually did take the big unit of the Harlequins.
Yeah.
Which has a shocking amount of damage when you just calculate all the dev wounds, but it just dies so easy. Overall, though, super fun match. I appreciate you teaching me the detachment. And this is going to be a wrap for the tournament. I am going to go 4-1. The final score for this was like 100 to 60. I don't know if that's going to be enough for me to eke out third place or second place. We'll see. We'll find out when everything falls in. All right, cheers all. Okay, so you guys saw the whole tournament. We did end up going 4-1. It was an absolute blast. I'm super happy with the way the list performed. The list is a 5-0 list. The reason I went 4-1 is because I made a player error, and Thomas, the guy who beat me, just played really, really well. He took advantage of the errors I made. Super proud of him. He did an awesome freaking job. There's nothing particularly wrong with the list, but there are a few things that I'm considering. Now, this squad, the captain leading the Sanguinary Guard, I like him. I like this squad a lot now because they just go in, they can mash like a War Dog, they can pick up basically most vehicles. The problem is it's Oath of Moment reliant, so I kind of have to have the Oath on that squad to make them pop off. When I build armies, I try to do everything in my power to not ever need Oath of Moment. That is my goal. I don't ever want to need Oath of Moment. My Blade Guard vets, they get to reroll hit rolls of 1 natively. They don't need Oath. Dante already hits on 2s, which means they don't need Oath. My Lancers have rerolls built in. They don't need Oath. My Ball Predators have torrent weapons. They don't need Oath. So I don't ever want to need Oath. I just want to be able to use Oath just because it's nice, right? So this is the unit that is giving me issues. So the Ragefield Warrior, the only reason I actually took that enhancement was simply because, by the way, my paint jobs are not the best, but whatever, I like him, I think he's cool. The only reason why I took the Ragefield Warrior on him in the first place is because I happen to have 40 points left over, and what am I going to do with 40 points? So right now I am debating, how do I run this a little bit differently? So this unit is the only thing that's on the chopping block. Sanguinor is a total monster, Mephiston is a total monster, everything else is a total monster. One thing I am considering doing is I'm considering turning this into a 6-mana Sanguinary Guard and giving fights first to him and getting rid of the Blade Guard vets with the Impulsor. But that's not, I don't think that's necessarily the correct solution. It's something I just want to try out. These guys having the +1 to wound just natively built in is so strong. So I'm going to try it with a 6-man Sanguinary Guard with fight first instead of these guys. But of course I would drop this unit if I did that. But I don't necessarily think that is the correct solution. Another solution I can think of is I can figure out, maybe I drop this squad altogether and I can just throw in 2 extra JPI squads, which would be interesting. It doesn't do the same hit, it doesn't necessarily have the same threat, but it is fascinating to me. Another thing that I'm really interested in checking out is, do I run this as like a 5-man unit of Death Company with either a chaplain or the Death Company captain to give them all the sustained hits at all times? Also a very interesting choice. So very minimal changes I'm going to make to the list. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to go. This is the only thing that's kind of iffy. They actually did still perform well for me, but I just felt like maybe I could have an extra thing, and that might be better. So I'm going to get some more reps. I've got another GT coming up in about 2 weeks. Actually, I'll be in the United States for that one. So shout out to the Safeties Off, Slap 'em on the Sunburn GT in Taylor, South Carolina. I'm really excited to see those guys. That GT is actually going to be a lot of fun, and we got some cool information for you coming up for that one. So 4-1 for this. Super happy with the list. Might make some small changes, and we'll see how it goes in the next one. All right, guys. Have a great day. Crump on. Bye-bye.